All of the Coupelle landscapes, the hills, the wooded coulees, the little pieces of grassland on the actual hillsides, the creek and the creeks that flow into it and the river itself are places that we connect with, I think, as prairie people because it's got a little bit of nature there still calling us. The Coupelle Valley, it runs about 260 miles from west to east. It starts just east of the South Saskatchewan River, a place called Elbow, and it runs across Saskatchewan going east and then spills into the Assiniboine system near the Manitoba border. And it goes from the west, where it's very much a grassland valley, all the way to the east where it's almost like eastern hardwood forest. There's a mix of oak and maple. So it's got this quality of kind of stitching Canada's west and east together on the northeastern edge of the Great Plains. Traditionally, the valley has had a pretty good mix of natural wild landscapes and then some of the agriculture on the bottom, and there was always cattle grazing on the hillsides, but that all seemed to coexist in a healthy kind of mix for a long time. But over the last 30 years, we've just seen a lot more development in the valley near urban centers where folks want to have either a weekend place or somewhere that they live and they commute to the city. And that is starting to have a real effect on those places and the species at risk that depend on the valley. It's not that we should necessarily stop all development, it's just we need to begin doing it with more mindfulness and making proper choices about what areas can be developed safely, what areas should we set aside as being natural. Because after all, if we're moving here and people want to live in the valley because of these natural features, if we then have so many people move here, we lose what drew us here in the first place. All the biodiversity of the great grassland that was here has been eroded incredibly over the last 120 years. In Saskatchewan, we've lost 80% of our native grass. So it's a huge environmental issue. When you lose that much of a whole biome, there's going to be great effects on the species that depend on it. We know now that something like 75 to 80% of our grassland bird species are in decline and have been declining steadily ever since we've been keeping records. So it's very serious, and it's because of all that habitat loss through agriculture. Like a lot of people, I have very personal reasons for loving the Coupelle. My family roots are in the Coupelle Valley. My grandfather homesteaded there. I went there as a kid. A lot of people share that kind of link to the valley because it's a place that has that appeal. But when we come to the Coupelle, there's a sense that you can touch something ancient that was there before settlement. The Nature Conservancy is leading the way in conserving the Coupelle watershed. There's no other organization doing the land acquisition as actively and aggressively as they are right now. They've made this one of their priority areas in the province. If it's something that really matters to you, if you love the prairie, if you love the Coupelle, you can't do any better really than helping NCC in the work that they're already doing.